Hello friends, I welcome you all in this lecture series on fluid mechanics, where in this session we are going to discuss the content of flow through pipes, which I have written on the board that we are going to see particularly four topics in the today's session. So if you observe, this is the first topic where we will discuss pipes in series, then pipes in parallel, then what is the concept of equivalent pipes, and power transmission through the pipes. This is the content of today's session. In the previous session, we have already described the major and minor losses. We have derived the equation for Darcy-Weisbach frictional loss. So if you have not seen that, you can go to the channel and subscribe it and watch the previous playlist of previous contents. So let us begin with the pipes in series. So as we know that if there is a pipe network, it cannot be of same diameter. If you observe any pipe network, it may be in your domestic application or it may be in the industrial application, we need to connect the different diameter pipes, and that arrangements can be of two types, that is arrangement in series and arrangement in parallel. So overall I'll firstly discuss both at the same platform and then we'll go in detail of that. So if I observe what is the concept of series, what is the concept of parallel. So if I connect two pipes in series means what? The end of first pipe will be connected to the beginning of the second pipe of different diameter or same diameter. So this is the end of first pipe. Let us say its length is L1 and this is the second pipe, which are connected in series now. So this kind of arrangement is called as pipes in series. And what is meant by pipes in parallel? The beginning of both pipes will be at same pressure. Let us say this is a simple way of drawing this. This will not be same every time. The arrangements can be different, but the equivalent layout will be exactly same. So if I observe here, this is the flow coming, getting splitted into two pipes, and again it is combining. So this is what pipe number 1, let's say, and this is pipe 2. Both are arranged in parallel. So what are the key specifications? You must understand this. Here the discharge remains constant. So total discharge entering the pipe system, the series system, whatever the total discharge entering the series system will be same as discharge through the first pipe and will be same as discharge through the second pipe. So what is that? Q dot will be equal to Q dot 1 equal to Q dot 2. This is the key specification of pipes in series, mathematically expressing how pipes in series can be expressed. And what are the other things? The total loss, whatever the loss will be there through the piping system, that total loss, addition of major plus minor, will be the total loss through the systems. Let's say H loss 1 plus H loss 2. So this is the addition of total loss is taking place in the section 1 plus total loss is taking place in the section 2 will be the total loss. Okay, but here if you observe, whatever the discharge entering the system and leaving the system must be same. Of course, it is always whatever entering must be leaving, but it is different with respect to pipes. Like if you observe, this is, if this discharge is Q dot 1 and this discharge is Q dot 2, logically you must think, you will not to remember this, you will observe that Q dot will be equal to, it is getting splitted, so it is Q dot 1 plus Q dot 2. Here it was Q dot 1 and Q dot 2 were same because the pipes were in series. Whatever the discharge coming from inside has to come out, so continuity equation has to be satisfied, and for that purpose Q dot has to be constant, discharge has to be constant. But here what is happening with respect to pipe 1 and pipe 2, the discharge in the pipe 1 and in discharge in the pipe 2 may be same, may be different, but their addition will be Q dot. The total discharge will be the addition of Q dot 1 plus Q dot 2. So this is the basic concept of pipes in parallel. And what about head loss? Very important. What about head loss? Head loss is total head loss will be equal to head loss through pipe 1 will be same as head loss through pipe 2. If we neglect the minor losses, then this is the discussion. So by this path, whatever the loss is taking place must be same as the loss taking place by this path. It is always same. Means the pressure at this point and pressure at this point, the difference between them is the total loss. What is mean by total loss? The pressure at this point minus pressure at this point. That is nothing but total loss. So as we know that the pressure is point function, it is same for both pipes. The inlet pressure is same for both pipes, exit pressure is same for both pipes, so the difference between them will be same for both pipes. That is the logic. You understood this? I'll explain this again, very important part, that as we know that the pressure is the point function, it cannot be different for different pipes. And since this is the common inlet of the pipe 1 and pipe 2, whatever the pressure at, let us say this is point number A and this is point number B. So here is the PA pressure and here is the PB pressure. So what is the H loss? H loss is, total H loss is what? PA minus PB, but I am expressing that in meter, so it will be PA minus PB upon rho g. So since now you observe this is the total loss, PA minus PB upon rho g. Now go through the path via pipe 1. So if you go via pipe 1, for inlet of pipe 1 the pressure is PA and exit of pipe 1 the pressure is PB. Yes or no? So the difference between PA minus PB through this path is also same. In the similar way, for pipe B, inlet is A, exit is B. So again difference between by this path is also same. So that is why whatever the loss taking place in the pipe 1 must be equal to loss taking place in the pipe 2, and that must be equal to total loss if the minor losses are neglected. So that is what the overall concept. There are 2 points that has to be considered. One is discharge and other is pressure loss. So in case of this, the discharge will be constant, pressure loss will be the addition of the all losses, and here the discharge will be the addition of the all discharges and the loss will be constant. So that is what the concept of pipes in series and pipes in parallel. Now we'll simply express the detailed expression for these concepts. So if I go for pipes in series, I can take an example to have the detailed demonstration. So pipes in series, very common arrangement. There will be numericals on this also. Many of the universities have numerical content over this, so we are going to cover that later on. This is called as compound pipes. This is also called as compound pipes. So I'll take a sample arrangement where I can describe the all aspects of this concept. So what I'll take, let us say there is a tank which has certain potential energy corresponding to this height, and there is a pipe connecting this. This is the first pipe with certain length L1 and diameter D1. Let us say this is L1 and diameter D1. Then there is second pipe with smaller diameter with D2, this one is D3, this is L2, this one is L3, and now it is connected to the another tank which may have different level of fluid into it. So this is the level of fluid at this point, and this is the level of fluid at this point. Okay, so now if I have the axis of this pipe like this, we will compare 2 points. Let us say this is the inlet side, so I'll assume this as point number A, and this is the exit side, end of the pipe, as B. Okay, so fluid is flowing from point A to point B in this piping section, where the pipes are of compound nature, where the first diameter is larger, second is smaller, again third is larger. Each has its own length. Okay, so this is the kind of arrangement of pipes in series connecting the two tank. So what we will do now, we will apply the Bernoulli's equation, that is modified Bernoulli's equation including the losses across section A and section B. So if I observe that, so I will put my datum at this horizontal line, so ZA will be same as ZB. So if I write down the Bernoulli's equation, you can observe that it is PA, pressure at point A upon rho G, plus pressure, that is pressure energy, plus kinetic energy is what? VA square upon 2G, plus ZA is the potential energy at point A. This is ZA is the potential energy at point A. It is nothing to do with this height. It has nothing to do with this height. It is corresponding potential energy at point A, and potential energy is counted below that section. So it is, and if I am taking my datum at A itself, the potential energy is 0 at A, because we are going to discuss the relative potential energy. So this is not absolute. So this is the total energy at section A will be equal to, fluid is flowing from this to this, so losses will be counted on the other side. So that is, now here PB is the pressure upon rho G is the head, PB upon rho G is the head available at that point P, that is nothing but this height, plus VB is the velocity, exit velocity upon VB square upon 2G, plus ZB. This is what? The total energy. If there are no losses, if the system is ideal, the fluid is viscosity is 0, then there will be no loss, and in that case this is the only balance. But now in practice there will be losses. So what are the losses involved here? You can observe what are the minor losses. First we will count. First is the entry loss. Fluid is entering into this pipe, so that is, I will call that H entry. Plus, next is sudden contraction. You can observe here at this section there is sudden contraction, so I will name that as sudden CON, contraction. CON stands for sudden contraction. Next is sudden expansion, plus expansion, EXP stands for sudden expansion. And next is exit loss, yes or no? And that exit loss is this already taken into count. VB square upon 2G is nothing but the exit loss. Okay, so already this plus this plus this plus this, these four losses are the minor losses. And plus what? Frictional loss in the pipe 1 by the Darcy-Weisbach equation, that is HF1, plus friction loss in the pipe 2 section, because diameter is different, so HF may be different, so that length is different, so HF2, and frictional loss in the pipe 3, HF3. I hope it is visible. It is HF1 plus HF2 plus HF3. Okay, so now this is what the total energy balance is. So if you observe here, now I will modify this. You can observe what is this PA. PA upon rho G is the head, pressure head at point A. And how much that? This is nothing but HA, height of the tank above that datum, and that is nothing but HA. Is how much? PA upon rho G. So I will simplify this as HA. Plus, if you observe what is VA upon 2G, fluid is stagnant here, fluid is going to enter. So before that there is no velocity. So at point A the velocity is 0. So this will be 0. So next is ZA. Now we have taken the datum at point A on the line section on the axis. So that is why ZA will be 0. Or ZA equal to ZB, that can be cancelled that way also. So this is what the inlet side is. Now at exit side, what is PB upon rho G? Similar to PA upon rho G, PB upon rho G will be the height of the tank. So this is what the height of the tank is, HB, that is PA upon rho G, because we know that pressure equal to rho GH. So if you have the pressure, you can find out corresponding height, and what is that height? It is P upon rho G. Okay, so that is nothing but HB plus what is VB upon 2G? VB upon 2G is the entry loss, exit loss. VB upon 2G is the exit loss. If you have seen the previous lecture, I have explained this, what is meant by entry loss and what is meant by exit loss. So you can refer that. So that is nothing but H exit plus ZB is already 0. Okay, ZB and Z1, ZA and ZB are same, or both are 0, or both are same. Then H entry then H contraction, loss due to contraction, loss due to expansion. So this is what summation of minor losses plus HF1 plus HF2 plus HF3. This is summation of major losses. So if you observe that HA, I'll take this HB to this side, so it will be negative. So HA minus HB, sorry, HA minus HB will be equal to, what is HA minus HB then? This is what summation of minor losses. Summation of minor losses plus what is this? Summation of major losses. And this is what the concept, if you observe this carefully, this equation if you observe carefully, what is HA? Height of the first tank, and what is HB? Height of the second tank. The difference between them means what? This level and this level, the difference between them is the loss in the pipe. So this is what H loss. What is H loss? This is the addition of minor loss plus major loss, that is total loss. So total loss in the piping system of the series network is the difference of both tanks, okay, or the pressure heads, difference of the pressure heads, HA minus HB. This may not be tank here, so if there is a PA, known PA, you can find out the corresponding HA. I have written this incorrect, you can correct this, this is PB upon rho g. So I hope you have written this. You can pause the video and write down this, and then we can continue. So we have concluded that whatever the head loss, height of the tank at the section A minus height of the tank at the section B is the summation of total losses. Yes or no? So loss taking place in the system, what is that? Summation of minor losses plus summation of major losses. Now for this numerical point of view, in many of the numericals, these minor losses are neglected. If minor losses are neglected, then what will happen? The HA minus HB is the total loss. Is what then? Summation of major losses. So as we have described in the beginning of the lecture that for pipes in series, H loss is nothing but HF1 plus HF2 plus HF3. So indirectly it has come to that point, so that H loss is nothing but what is a major loss at pipe section 1, that is HF1 plus HF2 plus HF3. So this is the equation number 1. And second equation, discharge remains constant, that is Q dot equal to Q dot 1 equal to Q dot 2 equal to Q dot 3. So these are the two equations to use to analyze the pipes in series. Now you can put the value of HF1 as FL V square upon 2GD. By Darcy-Weisbach equation you can put the value FL V square upon 2GD for the pipe number 1, FL V square upon 2GD for the pipe number 2, and FL V square upon 2GD for the pipe number 3. Corresponding velocity, corresponding diameter, corresponding length has to be taken. Okay, if you want I can write down that also. So if it is over, I can rub this, then I can write down total loss as FL V square upon 2GD suffix 111. If the pipe 1 is different material, what this F is? Darcy-Weisbach friction factor. It depends on pipe surface. So it depends on pipe. If pipe material changes, F will change. So plus FL V square upon 2GD 2222 all the at pipe number 2 plus FL V square upon 2GD 3333. It appears to be very difficult, complicated, but it is very simple. It depends on simple equation, single equation, by which you can find out this all. Okay, based on corresponding values of that pipe. Okay, well, we are going to say the numerical over this also. So there also you can get this clear. So I hope this is clear to you now what is meant by pipes in series. Now we'll go for the second part, that is nothing but pipes in parallel. Now as I have drawn that diagram, I can simply draw the more simplified diagram. Intentionally I am taking the curved pipe instead of straight pipe. I am taking curved pipe to clear the concept of frictional loss, HF, how to find out HF then. So in that case we have to find out the length of this pipe 2. Whatever may be the length, actual length of the pipe 2 is important, not the horizontal distance or straight distance. It is the length that matters. This is, let's say, L1. Let's say this is diameter D1 and this is diameter D2. So as we have discussed, if this is the point A and this is point B, then this is the pressure at the point A is PA, pressure at the point B is PB. The difference between the PA minus PB is the H loss. Yes or no? And H loss via length pipe 1 must be same as pressure loss via pipe B or pipe 2. So you can write down this simply, that what is the discharge? Discharge, total discharge entering must be same as, must be addition of discharge 1 and discharge 2. So it is Q dot 1 plus Q dot 2. This is very important equation. Yes or no? And what is the loss? What about loss? PA minus PB upon rho G is the total loss, that is H loss, neglecting the minor losses. Then it will be HF1 equal to HF2. This is very important, HF1 equal to HF2, because loss via pipe 1 must be same as loss via pipe 2. Then only PA minus PB will be constant. Let us say at section A the pressure is 5 bar, for example. Okay, and here is the 1 bar loss and here is the 2 bar loss. For a hypothetical situation, we will assume that in the pipe section 1 the pressure loss is 1 bar and pipe section 2 the pressure loss is 2 bar. So what will be the exit pressure? If through the pipe section 1 if I go, the loss will be 1, so 5 minus 1 is the 4 bar. The pressure at the junction must be 4 bar. But via this path, if I go via this path, if I calculate the exit pressure, what will be that? 5 bar minus 2 bar equal to what? 3 bar. And this is not possible because the pressure is point function, and at a single point there cannot be two values of pressure. At a single point there cannot be two values of pressure. Means what? The value of the pressure at this point is unique, and that will be same for both pipes. So it means that either it has to be 1 bar, so that both values will be 4 bar. Yes, and that indicates that HF1 will be equal to HF2. HF1 equal to HF2. So I hope it is clear now. So you can write down this as, simply write down HF in terms of Darcy-Weisbach equation as F1 L1 V1 square upon 2 GD1 equal to F2 L2 V2 square upon 2G D2. So this is what the expression for this particular pipes in parallel. So I hope it is clear now. So now we'll go for the equivalent pipe. Before going to these equivalent pipes, now I think we shall discuss the Darcy-Weisbach equation in the discharge form. So if you see Darcy-Weisbach equation, it is many of the times this equation is required in terms of discharge, because this expression is expressed in terms of velocity. So it is inconvenient to handle this many of the times. FL V square upon 2G D. This is the function of velocity. So it is expressed in terms of velocity, but many of the times in numericals, in some derivations, it is required that you should get this expression in terms of discharge. If you have that simplified form in terms of discharge, these things go easy. So how to convert that into discharge? Just put this velocity in terms of discharge. So what is discharge? Discharge is nothing but area of the cross section of the pipe into velocity. So what is the velocity here? Velocity is the discharge upon cross section, discharge upon cross section area. Okay, so now how to work out this? Just put this value here. So you will get that HF is what? FL discharge square upon cross section area of square divided by 2G diameter. So if I simplify this, what will happen? So HF will become, F will remain as it is, L will be there. Now discharge square is there. Okay, so now area of cross section will be as 2GD is as it is. Now area square. What is area? Pi by 4 into D square raised to square means what? D raised to 4. D square raised to 4. So D square raised to 4. D square raised to 2 na? So it is 4. So D raised to 4. So it will become D raised to 5. Now if you simplify this, it will be F L discharge square upon 2 into 9.81 into pi square upon 4 square is 16. So if you simplify this constant, and this becomes d raised to 5, d square into d raised to 4 into d is d raised to 5. So if you simplify this constant, it comes to be equal to 12.1. If you have calculator in your hand, you can simplify this. It will come to be 12.1 into d raised to 5. So this is what equivalent equation of head loss in terms of discharge. So these both equations are same. FLV square upon 2GD and FLQ dot square upon 12.1 d raised to 5 is also Darcy-Weisbach equation, only it is expressed in terms of discharge. But this simplified form of this equation is very much important or very much useful in solving numericals as well as dealing with some derivations that we are going to see later on. So now I hope this is clear to you. It is expected that you should remember this because this will be very useful in many of the cases. Now we will go for the equivalent pipes. Equivalent pipe, not pipes. So what is the concept of equivalent pipe? It is if there is a pipe network in series, in terms of series, let us say there are 3 pipes with certain diameters and certain lengths. Okay, so this is the pipe center. Each has its own velocity because the cross section is changing, so velocity has to change to keep the discharge constant. So V1 will be different, V2 will be different, and V3 will be different. This is diameter D1, D2 and D3. Okay, and let us say this is L1, L2, L3, and it has some friction factor F1, F2 and F3, maybe same or maybe different. Okay, so this is what the and if the discharge through the pipe 1, discharge is constant, discharge is equal to Q dot 1 equal to Q dot 2 equal to Q dot 3. That is the key specification of pipes in series. So what is the concept of equivalent pipe? That we'll understand first. What is meant by equivalent pipe? It is something that what will be a single pipe that will fulfill the needs of the 3 pipes in series. Whatever the 3 pipes in series are there, it must satisfy all the needs of this arrangement by the single pipe. What is the equivalent pipe? It is a pipe of uniform diameter and certain length which will be equivalent, or which will fulfill all the needs by the series network. If there is an existing series network and I want to replace that, what will be the equivalent pipe? That will be same as this. It will give all the same results as this. What are the results here? Means what? Discharge must be same. So this discharge it should provide. Whatever the discharge in these three pipes are there, it should provide the same discharge. And what is the second equation? That is the head loss equation. And what is H loss? Total loss is what? HF1 plus HF2 plus HF3. So this addition of the head loss in the three pipes must be equal to this. If such a hypothetical or imaginary pipe is there, what would be the diameter of that pipe? That is the only question. Length is very clear that for equivalent pipe we take the length equal to addition of the three lengths. There is no question about length of the equivalent pipe. It will be the addition of three lengths. What will change? Diameter will change. So diameter will be something that will satisfy this. So it should give this much pressure drop. So now to find out that, to get the relation between that diameter and equivalent length, so we can compare this H loss, total loss for this hypothetical pipe. If I imagine that the pipe diameter is DE and length is LE and discharge is Q dot E and friction F factor is Fe. Okay, so then I can write down the frictional head loss here also with the Darcy-Weisbach equation, but it is very useful to use that Darcy-Weisbach equation in terms of discharge that we have derived earlier. We will use that here and we can simplify. We will try to simplify that. So what will be the Darcy-Weisbach equation in terms of discharge if applied for this case will be, it is Fe Le discharge E raised square upon 12.1 into D equivalent diameter raised to 5. So this is what the discharge in the equivalent pipe. This total head loss must be same as the addition of the head loss in the three pipes, and that is equivalent pipe. So we are interconverting. So this is the parallel, this is the equivalent system or alternative system which will give the same results. So what will be that now? I will apply the same equation for each pipe section 1, 2 and 3. So I will write down this equation 3 times and I just add the suffix 1, 2 and 3. So it is F L Q dot square upon 12.1 times D raised to 5. So if I rub this diagram, so that is F L Q dot square upon 12.1 D raised to 5. To increase the speed, you can use this method. Firstly write down all the formulas, repeat the same formula 3 times and then add the suffix. That makes more easy and there is no possibility of mistake while solving the numericals also. So I'll just add the suffix now. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2 and the third section, third pipe. So this is what head loss in the pipe section 1 plus head loss in the pipe section 2 plus head loss in the pipe section 3. The total addition of the head loss must be the head loss in the equivalent pipe. So if I simplify this now, if pipe material is same, all three pipes are made of same material, of same surface roughness, and the equivalent pipe is also made of the same surface roughness, then F will be same. If F equivalent, friction factor in each pipe is same, okay, F1 equal to F2 equal to F3. As we know that discharge is same, total discharge is same as the each discharge. So F is same, discharge is same, 12.1 back can be cancelled. So only what terms will remain? Le upon D raised to 5. All other terms will be same because F can be cancelled, 12.1 can be cancelled and discharge can be cancelled. So only what terms will remain? Le equivalent length upon equivalent diameter raised to 5. This is very important. We forget this while solving the numericals. Be careful here. Le raised to D raised to 5 equal to L1 raised to D raised to 5, D1 raised to 5 plus L2 upon D2 raised to 5 plus L3 upon D3 raised to 5. This is the expression where we get the relation between lengths and the diameters of the equivalent system. So if all of them is given and diameter is given, you can find out the length of the equivalent pipe. Or on the other side, if length of the equivalent pipe is given, all these things are given, you can find out the diameter of the equivalent pipe. So such a kind of numericals are there where you will be given with the all data, the section 1, 2 and 3, and you will be asked to find out the equivalent length of the pipe or equivalent diameter of the pipe. One is given, either length is given, you need to find out the diameter, or diameter is given, you need to find out length. So this is what the simplified expression. This derivation is also asked for many of the university examinations, and this equation is called as Dupuit's equation. This is also called as Dupuit's equation. So this is the derivation for Dupuit's equation. What is the simple steps? That you just have to write down the total loss, put the equation of the losses in terms of discharge, cancel out the remaining terms, and simplify this as like this. So parallel system to this, equivalent system to this will be LE by D. So I hope that is clear to you, equivalent pipe. Now we will go for the last topic of today's discussion, that is nothing but the power losses. Transmission of power through the pipes. So it is very simple concept. Transmission of power through pipes. So we have seen already like the content like this, that if there is a tank and there is certain system of piping, this may be a straight pipe, single pipe, or system of pipes like pipes in series. I am drawing this simple configuration where I am showing the single pipe, but it can be a series pipe network. Okay, here is the head available is HA. Let us say this is the inlet point A and this is the exit point B. Okay, so head available at point A and head available at point B, HB. So we have seen the same configuration where we saw that what is pressure at PA, that is HA, nothing but PA upon rho G, and what is HB, it is PB upon rho G. And what is the relation between them? The difference. If minor losses are neglected, then what it is? The difference of these levels is total loss. So what is H loss? Or PA minus PB upon rho G, that is HA minus HB, is H loss. Yes or no? So that is nothing but H loss. If the minor losses are neglected, then total frictional loss is the with the Darcy-Weisbach equation you can obtain this, and that is HA minus HB. So what is the power available at point A? Power available at point A. How much is the power available? What kind of energy it has? What kind of power it has? The slight correction is there. It should be with datum. What is the power available at this point A? That is potential energy. What kind of power it is? It is potential energy. And how much it is? mgh is the potential energy. So power available at is m dot g into HA. Yes or no? And what is the power available at point B? It is m dot g into HB. Yes or no? So this is what the power available at point B means. What? This is the transmitted power. So how much is the power transmitted? This is nothing but the power transmitted. How much it is? mgh. And what is mgh? It is nothing but m is nothing but rho into q dot. M dot is nothing but rho into q dot. We know this relation. So if I put this m dot as rho q dot, it will be g into hb. But we don't know the hb, or if we want to express this in terms of loss, then it will be what? Hb is what? Ha minus HB is what? HA minus HF. This will go to this side and this will come to this side. So it will become HA minus HF. So this implies that HB is equal to HA minus HF. And what is HF? It is a head loss. Neglecting all other minor losses, I am writing down only frictional loss. So this will become finally rho into Q dot into G in bracket HA minus HF. So you can find out the power transmitted by any pipe is nothing but rho Q dot G into HA minus HF. So you can remember this formula, or you can simply remember the basic of this whatever I said, that difference between them is the loss, and this HB is nothing but the power available at the section B, and that is nothing but the power transmitted. HB is nothing but power transmitted. HB is same as power transmitted. So this is what, it is very easy. Then we'll go for now, what is the efficiency of transmission? Efficiency of transmission. That is what? Output upon input. Efficiency of transmission is what? What is output? It is HB. And what is input? It is HA. So it can be, HB is what? HA minus HF upon HA. So if you simplify this, it is 1 minus HA divided by HA is 1, HF upon HA. This is the efficiency of transmission. Many of the times they ask you the numerical over this to find out the efficiency of transmission. Sometimes they ask you to find out the maximum efficiency and condition for maximum efficiency. So due to time limitation I am going to skip that. So if you want to do it, it is very simple. You just have to derive this efficiency with respect to velocity and equate it to 0. Derive this efficiency with respect to velocity. Put the value of HF as FLV square upon 2GD, where V will be there. So if I derive that, you will get some efficiency condition, and that condition is nothing but, what is that? HF is HA divided by 3. Condition for maximum efficiency is what? The head available at this divided by 3 should be the head loss through the pipe. Then the efficiency will be maximum. So if you put this value here, if you put the HF as HA by 3 here, HA will be cancelled. So it is you will put the HF as HA divided by 3. So 1 by 3. So maximum efficiency will be 1 minus 1 by 3 into 100. So it will come something 66.67%. So that is the maximum efficiency. If you obtain, you will get that. Okay. So this is what the concept of power transmitted through the pipe. So in the today's session we have seen the basically 3 concepts, where pipes in series and pipes in parallel we have seen. Then we have seen equivalent pipe. Then we have seen power transmitted through the pipes. Okay. So I hope you understood everything. If you have any kind of questions, queries, you can comment me. I'll answer that. If you have not seen my previous videos, you can go to the channel. There is a playlist for fluid mechanics where I have uploaded many of the lectures. So thank you very much. Take care.